Okay, hi, welcome to the Mangahigh lesson at 11 o'clock today. Um, Hopefully everyone can hear me now. If you're able to drop me a message, just let me know. We'll be starting in about a minute's time. So we're just starting in a few moments' time. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is to log into Mangahigh. Then make sure you get or you have already got your pen and paper ready. Now I'm going to go through the steps to log into Mangahigh so that you can make sure you're confident in doing that. So let's just go through these steps to make sure you're all ready. Okay, so the first thing you'll want to do is to search for Mangahigh. Now you can do that if you start by going to Google. Then you can type in Mangahigh and then search here, top link just here. This will take you to the Mangahigh homepage. So then you'll need to click on login in the top right corner. Then you'll need to make sure you log in with your login details. So you'll have a user ID. I'll put mine in here. You'll have a password, and then you'll have a school ID. Now, if you're at Eastbourne Primary, then your school ID number is 135984. And then click Done, and that will log you in to Mangahigh. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few moments to do that and to make sure you've got yourself all set up. Let's take a few moments over doing that. So I'll give you a few moments to make sure you're all logged in to Mangahigh, and then we'll be ready to start. A few more seconds, and then hopefully you'll all be logged in. Okay, I'm just going to check one or two more things my end to make sure everything is set up correctly. Okay, so I think we're now ready to start. Okay, so the next thing you need to do as soon as you've made sure you've got logged in and set up is, let's go to the next page, to look at the topic we're going to be trying today. So this is a topic called order of operations using brackets. Now, you might already know something about order of operations, and one of the rules in order of operations is when we're doing something like this question here, where we're doing 4 add 2 times 3, that we do the multiplication first. So there's a rule in mathematics. Some of you may have heard BODMAS or BIDMAS, and that rule is trying to tell us that multiplication and division are more important or should be done before we do adding and subtracting. So actually you have to do the 2 times 3 first. We get 6, and only then can you do 4 add 6. So the answer is actually 10. Now, if you ask your parents to calculate this question, 4 add 2 times 3, a lot of them will tell you that the answer is actually 18, because they're adding the 4 and the 2 together first and then multiplying by 3. But that's not the rules of mathematics. The rules say that you always do multiplication and division before you do adding and taking away. Now, you might have already learned that in the past, but this is taking it one step further. This is now learning about something called brackets. Now, brackets are used excuse me, when we want to make it clear that we want to calculate something before we do anything else. So when we look at this question, 4 add 2 times 3, actually you can see there's some brackets being put just in here. So the brackets have been put in. Oops, just give me one moment. Sorry, just 1 second. Let's clear this up a little bit. The brackets have been put in here, telling us that we have to do the 4 add 2 before we do anything else. So we do the 4 add 2 first, that works out the 6, and only then can we multiply by 3. So now we can do 6 times 3 and get the answer 18. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at some Mangahigh questions to help prepare you for when you have to do these questions. So let's look at some of these. So I'm going to go to order of operations using brackets. That's the activity we're going to be trying today. And just 1 second, I'm going to change this a moment. Let's find the activity. Order of operations using brackets. Here we go. Let's try this. I'm going to play a few of the questions here and see how easy they are to do. Okay, so I'm starting at the easy level questions. Let's play. Okay, so let's take this first question here. It says drag the numbers into the boxes so that the calculation says 10 divided by bracket 2 plus 3 bracket. So it's just asking us if we're able to read this correctly. Okay, let's try and follow these instructions then. So let's drag the numbers in. 10 divided by bracket 2 plus 3 bracket. Now it doesn't ask us for the actual answer, it just tried to see whether we could read this. If you did want to calculate it, you could work out the answer in the bracket first, 2 plus 3, which would make 5. And then we could do 10 divided by 5. But we'll just submit the answer. So we've got our first easy question correct. You can see that at the top of the page. Okay, so now which calculation is using brackets? Well, if you know what brackets are, this should be easy. We can see some brackets just here, but we can't see them anywhere else. So this must be the correct answer. Okay. Now we've got 2 easy questions correct. Let's see if we can get a third one. That will move us to the medium level. Okay, which calculation is inside the brackets? Well, it's this bit here, the 3 take away 1. Okay, so we can circle that answer, 3 take away 1. So now we've got 3 easy questions correct. We move up to the medium level. Now, you don't get a medal for just doing easy questions. You've actually got to get through the medium and then to the hard questions to be able to prove you can do it and to get a bronze medal. So let's try these medium level questions then. Okay, it says drag the correct symbol, could be a multiplication or an add or one of the others, into the box. We're trying to make the answer 2. Well, let's see what happens with the brackets. You should always calculate the brackets first. 3 add 1 makes 4. So it's 6, and then something goes in here. Could be add, take, times, divide, 4 to make the answer 2. Well, that's got to be subtract. 6 take away 4 makes 2. Okay, so let's put the correct answer just into there. Let's put the subtract into there and submit. We got it right. Let's try the next one. Okay, so complete the working by dragging each number into the correct box. Now, it's 10 take away 4 times 2. Remember, brackets are always calculated first, so we should calculate the 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And when we're working on calculations, it's a really good idea to work down the page. So the 8 will go in here. So we've worked that out. And then we can put the answer in down the bottom. So you're working down the page. Okay, so let's drag in the answers and put them in there correctly. 8 just here and 2 just here. So now we've got 2 medium questions correct. If we can get a third medium question correct, we won't pass, but we'll get to the hard questions. And that is where you can prove that you understand. Now we're still on our first go, and we're on question 6. But we need to do 10 questions to have one go. Most people take 3 goes, so they have to do 30 questions before they get a medal, to get a bronze medal. So it does take quite a few attempts. So let's see if we can get this one right here. Okay, complete the working by dragging each number into the correct box. Alright, so we work out the bracket first. 6 plus 3 is 9, so we'll need to put 9 in just here, and then we can work out the answer to get 18. Okay, so let's drag in the answers. I put those in now. I've thought about, done my working, put in a 9, put in an 18. We get the right answer. Now we're on the hard questions. So now we're having to do some difficult questions. If I can get the hard questions right, then I am going to get a bronze medal. You can get silver and gold medals, but that's for doing the extreme questions. So let's now look at the next thing before you start. So you're going to be starting in a few moments' time. Okay, so you need to try to get a medal on order of operations using brackets. Remember, getting a bronze medal is good. Getting a silver or gold medal is great, but you don't have to. If you do get a medal, then you can try the new topic, and that's called choosing the correct operations to solve a problem. And you'll find these have been assigned to you already. Okay, so good luck with these activities. I'm going to try a few more of the hard questions. So the best idea now is for you to use your Mangahigh login. Now you're logged in, and have a go at the questions for about the next until about 11:30. So when it gets to 11:30, come back to YouTube, and we'll look at how we do some more questions. But if you're not able to log into Mangahigh, then you can stick with me, and I'll show you how to answer some of the hard questions in a couple of moments. So over to you now. Make sure you're logged into Mangahigh and try some questions on order of operations using brackets. Okay, so for anyone who's finding the activity difficult or wants a bit of help, I'm going to go through some of the questions now. If you're still working through them and doing well, then please keep going on your own until 11:30. Then listen in again. But if you're stuck and you're struggling, I'm going to go through how to do some of the questions. So let's look at this medium question here. So James works out 4 multiplied by 1 plus 2. Okay, so Anna works out 4 times 3. Let's see if they get the same answer. Well, for James, he has to work out the 1 plus 2 first. So he's going to be doing 4 multiplied by, and then the answer in the brackets is 3. So he's going to be doing 4 times 3 and getting the answer 12. Well, Anne is doing the same thing, except she's just doing 4 times 3. So she gets 12 as well. So, do they get the same answer? Yes, they do. Okay, let's look at this next medium question here. James works out 7 multiplied by 5 take away 2. Because it's in brackets, we calculate it first. Okay, so James is doing 7 multiplied by 2. Anne's doing 3 times 7. Well, that's not the same answer. 2 lots of 7 and 3 lots of 7. So do they get the same answer? No, they don't. Okay, so now we're on some hard questions. So let's look at how you might answer some of these. Okay, so we've got to calculate what's in the brackets first. Well, in this bracket, it's 5 plus 3 is 8. And then we calculate the other bracket. That's 2. And what are we supposed to do with these answers? Well, it does say here that you're supposed to divide. So the first bracket says 8, the second bracket says 2, and 8 divided by 2 gets us the answer 4. So the answer must be 4. Let's look at this one. Let's work out the bracket first. 9 take away 4 is 5. And then we can multiply the answer by 3. Okay, 3 5s are 15. Let's see if we can get one more hard question correct. Okay, now we've got to calculate these brackets here. So this is 3, and this bracket here, this gives us just 1. And we're not changing the number at the front. We haven't done anything with that yet. So it's 3 multiplied by, well, 3, because that's what the bracket gives us, take away 1. So instead of writing it out long ways like this, we work out the bits that are in the brackets. So the question becomes 3 times 3, take away 1. Now hopefully you remember what I said at the beginning, which was we always do multiplication and division before we do add and take away. So this is the first bit to work out. 3 times 3, that's 9, and then we can subtract 1. Well, the answer then is definitely 8. Okay, so let's put the answer in. 8. Well, now we've gone on to our last question, our 10th question, and that means we're on the extreme level. We've got everything right up to now, we're at extreme. Okay, so now we have to try and figure out where these symbols go. The answer we're trying to make is 2. Well, let's have a look. This first bracket would give us 9 take away 3, that's 6. Okay. Not sure what this bracket gives us. It depends what we put in here. We could put an add, we could put a take, or we could put a divide. Any one of these 3. Now I wonder, we're trying to make the answer 2. Let's imagine we put the add sign just in here. That makes 3. Is there a way we could put something in here to make the answer 2? Well, yes there is. 6 divided by 3 makes 2. So if we put a divide by sign here and an add sign here, divide here and the add just here, then I think it makes the right answer. Let's check that again. The bracket gives us 6. Then we have divide by, and then this bracket, if we put an add in, would give us 3. Okay, so we need a divide and an add. Let's try that. Divide by here, and an add just here. Okay, correct answer. So we did well. We got ourselves a bronze medal. So, well, we made it all the way to the top. We didn't get silver or gold because we haven't done the lots of the extreme questions. If we try again, we'll get some more questions right. Okay, let's stop there. So we'll come back to me at 11:30. Hopefully you've had a few goes, and we'll be coming back to me hopefully in a few moments' time. Okay, so it's 11:30 and it's time to take a pause. So hopefully you've been trying the activity on order of operations using brackets, and hopefully you've been finding that you've been able to answer some of those questions. Now, if you've already got a medal on that activity, then you'll want to go on to a new activity, something a bit more, a bit different. So the activity that you're going on to is called Choose the Correct Operation to Solve a Problem, listed just here. So I'm now going to go on to this activity, play some of these questions. Remember, if you haven't got a medal on the first one, you should try it again to see if you can pass the first activity. Okay. So let's have a look at a few of the questions just here. So this is the activity you're going to go on to in a few moments. Okay, so let's have a look. And just give me one moment. I'm just going to make some changes here. Just 1 second. Nearly ready. Okay, here we go. So let's look at the question. Henry scored 35 goals last season. Okay. He shared them equally between 5 matches, so scored the same number of goals in each match. To work out how many goals he scored in each match, which operation should we use? So are we going to be doing 35, add 5, divide by 5, take away 5, or multiply by 5? Well, it's 35 goals in each match, so think of 35. Just one moment. So we think of the number 35. And if it's in each match or per match, if we divide then by 5, we're thinking of scoring then 7 goals in each match. I don't think he was playing football. Maybe he was playing hockey, where you score a few more goals than you would in football. So he's then scoring 7 goals in each match. So it is a divide by question. Okay, let's have a look at how we might answer the next question. So here we go. Oliver, his class is split into 3 groups for their maths class. Each group has 2 children in it. So we've got 3 groups with 2 children in each group. We could think of the groups as Group A, Group B, and Group C. And there's 2 children in each one of these groups. 2 in this group, 2 in this group, and 2 in this group here. Which operation should she use to see how many children there are altogether? Groups or altogether mean that this is a multiplication problem. So we've got 2 lots of 3, or 3 lots of 2. So it's a multiplication problem. So we'll put on the multiplication, submit the answer. So we've got 2 easy questions right. If we get another one right, we'll get to the medium level. Let's look here at this one. Okay. Word problems have keywords which help us to know how to solve them. Which of these keywords represents this symbol here? Well, the add is another way of saying altogether or total. So it's definitely not the less than, and it's definitely not change or groups of, it's total. So add is another way of saying get the total. Okay, total. Now we've gone on to the medium level questions. So I'm going to answer a few of these and then give you a few minutes to try this activity yourself. Okay, so a lot to read here. Let's go through it carefully. There are 38 children in the park. At lunchtime, 23 more children arrive. And in the afternoon, another 14 more arrive. It doesn't tell us that any children have left the park, so let's see. The park keeper wants to know how many children there are altogether in the park. Which number sentence shows how we can work this out? Okay, so there are 38 children in the park to start with. 23 more arrive, and when we have more, we need to add on those children. 23 more. And then a little later, the other children turn up. 14 more, so we're adding in more children, or adding, or totaling. So it's 38 add 23 add 14. We can see the answer, or the way to work out the answer, just here. Okay. So, let's look at one more question. All right. So, we've now got 60 children in Freya's year at school. They're shared into 10 equal groups. So we're looking for the statement that shows this correctly, sharing the people in her year group into 10 equal groups. So we've got 60 children and they're being shared into 10 equal groups. Well, another word for sharing is divide by, or sharing out. So into 10 equal groups, the answer would actually be 6 children in each group. But it's a divide by problem, and we can see that just here. So divide by the right answer. Okay, so I'm going to stop there now and give you some time to try this activity yourself. So if you keep an eye on your clock and your watch and have a go at this activity, you need to have a go. It's called choose the correct operation to solve problems. So if you have a go now until 11:50, so once the clock says, your watch says 11:50, if you stop there and come back to me, and I'll have some last few things for you to try before you finish today. Do have a go at the activity. If you're stuck, then I will be trying some of the harder questions in about 5 minutes time to give you a little bit of extra help, but now you should be having a go on your own to see how you can do. Okay, good luck. Okay, so do keep going on the activity. You've got about another 5 or 6 minutes to go until 11:50. But if you're stuck, if you found this difficult, I'm going to go through how to do some of the questions for you. So I'm looking here at how to do some of the questions from the medium level here. Let's do one more medium level question. Let's have a look. There are 62 children in a park. 26 children decide to leave, so we better take those away. So 62 and the children are leaving, so we'll take away the 26 people who are leaving. And in the afternoon another 18 people leave, so we're taking away 18 more. And we're looking for the number sentence that shows how to work this out. Okay, here it is. 62, take away 26, take away 18 more. All right. So those are the easy and medium questions. What about the hard questions? So you have to get to the hard questions in order to get a medal. So let's look at this one here. Okay, Sophie has 25 sandwiches ready to put on plates for her friends. She has 5 friends who are coming. She works out that her friends will get 5 sandwiches each, but is she right? Let's have a look. Let's look at the possible answers here to see if she's right. Okay, so first of all, yes, she is right because she has 25 sandwiches shared between 5 friends. 25 divided by 5 is 5. Okay, is this the right answer? Okay, well, maybe it's the other ones. Let's see about the second one just here. No, she had 25 sandwiches and was given 5 more. Was she given 5 more? No, it didn't say that. I don't think this makes any sense at all. And if we look at the last answer says, no, she's wrong. She had 25 and 5 were eaten. I don't think the question said anything about sandwiches being taken away. So let's look at the question one more time. She has 25 sandwiches ready to put on plates for her 5 friends. She thinks she has enough. 25 shared between 5 people is 5. That's the correct answer. Okay, let's look at a couple more questions, and then it's going to be 11:50 and time to do the last part of the lesson. So let's look at this question. We have to choose the correct operation to complete the number sentence. Harry has 136 stickers in his book. He then collected 94. He had 230 altogether. How was this worked out? Well, if he had 136, that's a lot of stickers, and then got 94 more stickers, extra, more, total, or add, then yes, I can see the numbers all work out. If I add these up together, I can see using column addition that we get 230. Well, that makes sense. The only thing missing was the add sign just here. Okay, let's put in the add. Got it. Okay, maybe time for one more question. Let's look at this one here then. Okay, what's going on with Sophie? Let's just move the screen up a little bit so we can see the whole question. Okay, so Sophie has 4 plates which she's putting sandwiches on. When she finished, each plate has 4 sandwiches on it. She works out that she has 8 sandwiches altogether. Is she right? So she has 4 plates. Let's think of these as her plates just here. 1, 2, 3, 4 plates. And she puts 4 sandwiches on each plate. 4 on this plate, 4 onto the next plate, 4 onto the next plate, and 4 onto the last plate. She thinks she's got 8. Is she right? No, of course not. She's got 4 lots of 4. So 4, 4, 4, 4, and another 4. She's got 16. So which of these answers is best? Should we say no, because she has 4 groups of 4? Is this the right answer? Or is it no, because she had 4 sandwiches and was given 4 more? Well, I don't think that's true. It didn't say anything about that. And the last answer says that she's right. Well, that's not true either. This is the right answer. She has 4 groups of 4. Okay. Now, if you've done well and you've done the hard questions, you'll have got a bronze medal. But maybe you've moved on to the extreme questions, and these could be really challenging. If we look at this one here, as our last question, last example, Isaac has 50 buns on Thursday. On Friday, he took the buns to school and shared them between himself and 9 friends. How many buns did each person get? Well, we're taking 50 buns and we're sharing them. But between how many people? Well, what does it say? It says 9 friends, and it also says himself. So we've got to include all of these people together, Isaac and as well as his 9 friends. So there's actually 10 people to share it between. So it's really 50 divided by or shared by 10 people. Well, the answer is 5. 10 goes into 50 5 times. Okay, so we can put in the answer there, 5. Submit. We got it right. So we're going to get a bronze medal. We did well at the hard questions. Okay, so hopefully you found that you could do lots of those questions. What we're going to do for the last part of the session here, you'll need your pencil and pen ready, and we'll need to move on to the last part. So the last part is not on Mangahigh. You'll need a pencil and pen ready. Now, I'd like you to try one of these 3 questions here. If you get time, you could do a second one, but try and make sure you've done at least one question. The first is a normal question at the top. This question here is just asking you to work out 6 plus 5 multiplied by 6. So that's the normal question just there. So if that's the one you want to try that one there. You could try the hard question, just here. The hard question, bit more difficult, bit more challenging, but if you want to try this question just here, feel free to do so. You could even try the strange question. So this question at the bottom is perhaps the most difficult question. This is rather a strange question. So I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 minutes to try any one of these questions, and then I'll give you the answers. Off you go. Okay, so another minute. See if you've answered one of the questions, and maybe you've even had time to do two of them. We'll be finishing at 12 o'clock today in just 6 minutes time. Okay, so now let's look at the answers to these questions here. Okay, so let's take the normal one. So hopefully you've learned something about brackets today. So if we want to answer this question here, then we're going to need to think about what goes inside the brackets. So let's just make sure we've got our pointer ready. So let's work out the number in the bracket first of all. 6 plus 5 is 11. Hopefully we've got that answer just in there. Then, whoops, one moment. Let's see if I can write that a little more clearly. So we've got 11 just here, and then we can multiply the answer by 6, and 11 times 6 is 66. Sorry about my pointer here. It's been a little difficult to use today. That looks pretty bad. Let me just see if I can tidy that up a little bit and do a bit better. One moment. Let me just refresh my page. See if I can do any better for you. And then let's see. Okay, let's have another go at that. Let's try and write that out again. My writing's not that bad. Let's see. 11. Oh dear. Oh well. Yep, that's pretty bad. Well, hopefully, since we're at the end of the lesson, we should be able to... let's just try something slightly different. One moment. I got another idea. Never give up. Here we go. I'm going to try it this way. Write a little bit bigger. Let's see if I can do this. 11 multiplied by 6 equals 66. Wow, that took a little bit of time. Okay, well, hopefully you got that one right just there. Let's look at the next question. Just refresh my screen. And we'll be finished in 2 minutes' time. Okay, so let's look at this hard question just here. Okay, let's see if the pen marker is going to work well. Let's work out what's in the brackets first of all. Okay, 10 divided by 2 is definitely 5. Let's put in the plus sign from above. Let's put in the rest of the working as well. 4 plus 2 multiplied by 10. Okay, so I've worked out the thing in the brackets. Now I have to think about which thing should be worked out first. Well, the rules of mathematics tell us that multiplication should always be worked out before adding. So it's the 2 times 10 that should really be worked out next. So if I work that out, I get my 20. and I've still got the add 5 on the end, and it still starts with a 4. So now I've got all my values just here. Now I can add them together in any order I like, in fact, and I'm going to get the answer 29. Okay, so there's my answer, 29. Now, it's just coming up to 12 o'clock, and it's perhaps time now to do the very last question. So if you did decide to go for the strange question here, trying to figure out where to put the brackets in, well, I thought this was pretty tough. You're trying to make the answer 20. Well, if you put the brackets just here, you'll make a 6. And then you'll be able to do 3 times 6 to work out 18, and then you can add 2 to make the answer 20. It's a bit like some people like to put extra brackets in, maybe a pair of brackets just around here, a bracket inside a bracket. You could do that as well if you like, but you don't have to. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock and it's time to finish there. Thanks for helping out and watching today. If you're at Eastbourne Primary School, please get in touch with Mr. Godding and your other teachers at Eastbourne, and tell them how you feel about the session you've done. Tell them, please, if there's any things you think that were good and that worked well, and also the things that didn't work so well and you think that could be better. In that way, it will help me to improve our presentation, and we might be delivering some more mathematics lessons. So this was just a test and a trial to see how easy it was for you to learn using Mangahigh from home. So thank you very much. I'm going to leave it there and wish you all the best with your maths. Thanks. Bye bye.